So if y'all have ever seen one of these mini sewing machines on Amazon, this is where I got this one. You might be wondering what they're like and whether or not they are worth it. They are obviously much smaller. You can see by the size of my hand, this is quite the small sewing machine. It's also very lightweight. I'm not exactly sure how much that is, but it feels like a loaf of bread, maybe a little bit more than a loaf of bread. And they are less expensive than the bigger size sewing machines. So this one was $42 when I bought it. Now, I wanted to review it, let you know how these were and if it was a viable solution to a larger sewing machine. I wanted to do that, but in just trying to set it up, I got so frustrated that I'm like, no, it's not worth it. So I'm gonna still show you what it's like, what my frustrations were. I haven't actually even sewn anything with this simply because I was so annoyed just at the beginning trying to get it put together that I'm just over it, and I know it's getting returned. So first of all, I'm not gonna say a brand name because I have seen these tiny mini sewing machines online under a variety of brand names. So I don't know if they're all the same model, just under different brand names or what. So I won't point out the specific brand. So like I said, it is very lightweight, which could be really good if you can't lift anything heavy. As you can see, I'm picking it up with just one hand. It is very small, so if you don't have a lot of room and you still want to sew, this might be an option for you. But let me just tell you what I don't like. So first of all, you have two plugs, which is not a problem. One goes to the power supply. So there is a power supply with 4 AA batteries if you want to run it off battery and don't have electricity. And then one goes to a foot pedal. And this is pretty, I don't know, I mean, it seems very, I don't know, flimsy is how it seems. So anyways, I plugged those in and I went to try the sewing machine. And it says like you have to turn it on and turn the button that says on. Now in this light, it's way easier to see than if you're like at a dining room table, which is where I was. But can y'all see this? Like, can you make out what these things are? Because I can barely make them out. I mean, people under the age of 20 probably can see it a little bit better, but wow, you get over the age of 30 and I'm not sure how you're supposed to distinguish those. So there's all kinds of things. There's a light, apparently. I didn't even know there was a light on there till I saw it in this light. Well, it turns out there is a light. Didn't know about that. And that's what it looks like. Interesting. And then on and off, and then I don't even know what that button is. Anyways, it's insanely hard to see what you're doing. So I guess once you're used to the machine, you could probably just hit it and be fine. So it's just like a push button. So it said to push it on to then use the sewing machine. Well, I pushed it on and it automatically started sewing. Like I wasn't even hitting the foot pedal, which is very, very bizarre to me and kind of unsafe. So I'm not sure what the situation is with that. It was so weird. I was like, this is just completely unsafe. I didn't even want to pursue that. So on top of that, so you have, this is like to put the needle up and down. This is going to be the knob right there. This is different because there is not, at least right now, there's not the showing a bobbin up here. So you have sewing bobbin here, and then you're gonna thread it over there, and then you push this back, and there's a bobbin down there. So that is how that looks. I can't even begin to tell you how you're supposed to thread the bobbins. I'm assuming this. Again, I'm just so annoyed that I just didn't even bother looking into everything. So, and then to get the foot pedal up, like, you know, on a normal sewing machine, sometimes it's right there. But that is this lever here, and that'll put it up, put it down. So I'll just give you a little bit more look at what that looks like. I find that this doesn't feel too sturdy, but you know, it is what it is, I guess, for that price point. Then you've got these gadgets over there so you can see more of the needle. So yeah, so this is obviously how you're gonna be threading some of this stuff. Again, like it comes with this already in there, like it comes already threaded, and it comes with a test piece of fabric that's already been sewn a little bit. So you can see that the stitches are a little bit like wider than they would be on maybe a larger sewing machine. I have read in other comments, which gave me pause before even ordering this, that if you wanted something that's like a really tightly knit, that this might not be the solution for you. So I don't know if these will go any smaller, but this is what the test piece showed. And also what I was able to sew, this is exactly what it looks like. However, I wasn't able to control the speed. Now that might be like one of these buttons. Again, I don't know. But it was just kind of just really weird. Like even with the foot pedal, you weren't slowing it down with the foot pedal. It was just kind of, it was either stop and start or it was just all one. And when you're used to a larger sewing machine, that could be like a big deal because sometimes you want to slow down when you're getting to a place that's a little bit harder to sew, or you want to be really careful. Sometimes you want to speed up. If it's only one speed, that could be really annoying to somebody that is an experienced sewist, however you want to say that. So this, like I said, was $42. It does come with this beginner sewing kit. It had some threads, some bobbins with the accompanying colors, a tape measure. We have extra needles, a thimble. This is a threader, seam ripper router, and some scissors. And then, oh, let me point this out. This is what goes on here so that you would have a larger sewing area. I'm not gonna take it out of the plastic since I'm not gonna keep it. So yeah, so this is what's gonna extend that area. If you're like mending pants or something, you want that to be there. And then I'll show you the operation manual for this small sewing machine. So it is, I have to give them props. The manual is very well laid out. It is very easy to read, nice and big print. And so if you are actually wanting to continue trying this out, there is a lot of great information. And as I've said, I bought this on Amazon. There is a return policy. This is just going to be way too much hassle for me. I do have a larger sewing machine and I'm actually more comfortable with that. But if you're somebody that's probably not going to sew a whole lot, this might be a solution for you. It's also about half the price of a beginner larger sewing machine. So if price is a factor, this could be something that you could at least try. I'm going to put some links in the description below as to what I bought, and then another one that I might suggest that would be a good beginner sewing machine. If you ever tried one of these, let me know in the comments and let me know if you like it or not. Is it just me, or did you actually find that these work? Take care, everybody. Happy crafting.